There was once a man who lost his job and was unemployed. Unfortunately, when life gets tough and throws us into a pit, some of us are able to climb out of that hole, while others make irrational decisions. In this case, this fellow went into a very bad field and started breaking the laws. He started making crooked business deals and swindling people. After time passed, he realized he was so good at his job. Once you cross the line of honesty, there is no telling how far you can go. And so he decided to take it to the next level, where he was going to take the risk of robbing a bank. But robbing a bank is easier said than done. You go in, you hold them up, by the time you come out, you get caught. And so he comes up with the most brilliant idea on how to rob a bank. He plans out a date and a time, he goes and gets himself a hold of a police uniform and a gun. He walks up to the lady behind the desk under the teller, and he slips up a note, "Give me the money, this is a bank robbery." She gives over the money, and a chaos breaks out in the bank once people start realizing this was no police officer. The plan at this point is, once the chaos begins and the people start realizing this is a robbery, he takes whatever he can get his hands on and he runs out of there. No one is going to suspect him because everybody outside the bank who don't know what's going on are going to see him as a cop and assume he's the officer chasing the robber. To his misfortune, as he's running out of that bank, from behind there is an undercover cop who was waiting in line. As soon as the real cop catches on to this trick, he starts chasing him, and as soon as the fake cop realizes someone is onto him, he tries to make a run for it. They both get into their cars and the chase begins. They fly down streets, passing red lights, stop signs, go against every possible traffic sign. At some point he realizes the real cop is catching up. So he pulls over and he tries to escape by foot. The real cop quickly pulls over, chases him a couple of blocks down, and he catches up to him, knocking him down to the ground. As he's taking out his handcuffs to cuff him, he's thinking to himself while he still has him down, I can handcuff him, but he can still escape. So he thinks to himself, how can I guarantee and secure that he cannot escape from me? So the real cop thinks of a creative idea. He takes the handcuffs, places one cuff onto his hand and the other onto the fake cop's hand. Now this guy has nowhere to run because wherever he goes, he takes the cop with him. Like this, he gets him back into the police car and brings him down to the station. Now as they enter the police station, everybody's clapping that they caught the bank robber. But then to their surprise, they see two police officers and they are confused. Who caught who? Who's the real cop? Right away the fake cop sees what's taking place and he takes advantage. He says, we found the robber, I handcuffed him to myself so he can't escape. The real police officer says, don't believe him, I'm the real cop. Now they are even more confused, they don't know who to believe. You don't get to see a scene like this every day. At this point of the story I gotta pause and I have to ask you. Now you are the chief, and you have to decide who is the real cop. How would you be able to determine and tell who is the real cop and who is the fake one? There is only one way to figure it out on the spot. And if you still didn't figure it out, I suggest you pause the recording right here and think about it. The answer is, the one who has the key to the cuffs is the one who's saying the real story. If you are able to get yourself out of this cuffs, then you're the one who's in control, and you're the innocent one. However, if you don't have the keys, well, then you're the fake cop. This is a parable to life. There is a body and a soul is held captive within the body. And the Yetzer Hara is battling within us. And as we go through the journey of life, many times the Yetzer Hara gets us to fall into the trap of sin. However, you know when you're really in control, if you can break out of the sin and the bodily temptations, then you know your soul is in control and not your body. If on the other hand he bosses us around, then that's not true freedom. True freedom is not to do whatever we want to do. There was once a poet by the name of Tsepo, and Tsepo once said, I have a violin string on the table, it's free. He says, but the violin string is not free to do what he was created to do, and that's to play music. However, if I take the string and I tighten it to both sides of the violin, then it's free to play music, which means freedom from is not freedom, freedom to. To do what you were created to do, to fulfill your purpose. Although the violin string might look comfortable laying on the table, but it's not fulfilling its purpose. So you must tighten it. Although you're restricting it and tightening it, you're allowing it to be free to produce music. That's true freedom. One who disattaches himself from the Torah and says living without restrictions is freedom is in truth a slave to his desires. The one who attaches himself to the Torah is in truth heading towards the path of meaning and purpose, allowing himself to fulfill his purpose and his mission in this world. And the more we tighten and tune ourselves to the Torah, the more we will make the right sound and be truly in control. May we be the cop who holds the key and be truly in control like the string who's attached to the violin. We must ask ourselves, who has the key, the Yetzer Hara, the evil inclination, or do we?